Hello everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at giving some texture to your lead sounds and effects, or whatever you want to give some interesting texture to. So I'll just play a short snippet here and then show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so right on the drop we have this one sound here, which is quite nice, but originally it's just a simple FM tone, kind of squarey FM tone. And then with a bit of processing, it's a lot more sort of gritty, growly type sound. Alright, so let's make this something similar from scratch. So you can use whatever synth you like. I'm just going to use Operator, because I quite like the FM tones from Operator. You could do it with Serum or something if you like. To be honest, any sound will work for this, but I tend to find FM is a really, really good source for these sounds because they're quite sort of harmonically rich to start with. Alright, so I'm just going to go with a square. Go with a square. And then maybe sine and triangle. Why not? Yep, something like that, just a really, really simple FM tone. And then I'm going to go for a Bandpass. And where this track is in C, so it's really, really low, when we play in the low octave, you kind of get not particularly, it's not very meaty what we get from it. It's a bit sort of wispy. So if you play in an octave above, it might seem to be a bit too sort of high pitched, but once we add some texture to it, it'll help the tone to come through. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a frequency shifter. Now, I tend to just go with the dry wet here, but it can be worthwhile putting this in a FX rack and doing a parallel chain, because sometimes the dry on here is not all the way dry, but don't worry about that too much. Anyways, so we can kind of play with this by ear and go up or down. Just make sure we're sort of 50% wet. So you can hear that sort of effect starting to happen, almost kind of sounds like a phaser. So at low levels, it kind of is quite rhythmic, but if we push it to sort of quite far, sort of 20 to 40 hertz, we start to just get kind of weird texture on top. And you can just do this by ear and find where it sounds good to you. Alternatively, you can find your the key that you're in. So I'm in C. I'll just go get an EQ for the analyzer, and I know that C1 is 32.7 hertz. Alright, so let's try shifting this down by that. So it adds a really nice texture to it, and because we've gone with the almost exact hertz as the key we're in, you get a very, very consistent texture added to it rather than kind of constantly going in and out of time. Okay, so that's one thing you can do, which does sound awesome. So the next thing we can do is we can do basically AM modulation. So get auto pan, and I'm going to set the rate to 32.7. And I'm going to turn the amount up. For the moment, I'll just turn it up full. And I'm going to turn the phase to 360. So what this is going to do is the volume of both the left and right channel are going to go up and down together. And essentially, it's just amplitude modulation. And we can tweak the shape and the amount to our liking and just get it nice and gritty. Okay, maybe let's get a something to generate some MIDI for us. So you can use one or the other, so just the frequency shifter or just the auto pan, or you can use them together, and more often than not they sound quite nice. You just need to start with a decent tone with plenty of harmonic richness going on, which is why I use the FM for it. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you next time.